I've tried literally any kind of self improvement, like morning routines or like a cold shower. Those kind of things are very generalized and kind of famous for being doing really nothing. Like it's like a, how do I say this? It's just psychological thing that you convince yourself that this is changing your life, but actually it's just you doing something every day that's changing your life. Like it's the consistency, not the action itself. Like the action has nothing to do with what, like how good your life, how well you're doing. But like I tried so many different kinds of like mental works or like mental practices, I would say, activities, exercises, like small exercises that you do before getting into a work, like just silently looking at a staring at a wall, the kind of things. And one thing that I think is like common is a common thing, and not many people seem to realize, and not many influencers seem to talk about, is that at the end you just end up doing the thing instead of thinking. And obviously, like we all understand how it is, since we've all been there. Like you probably, if you were in a work today or you studied for a couple of hours, then you were in that zone kind of. But what happens is, when we have this fear of doing something, like trying, like start doing something, let's say you don't want to go to the gym, or you don't want to study certain, or like just you don't want you want to avoid something that's that clearly certainly is a problem in your life, but you don't want to tackle it. And what happens is that you make this false image about that, which isn't true. You know it, but it's so fearsome for you. Like you just don't want to do it at all cost, even when it's so stupid to keep on running away from the problem, and you know it, but you cannot actually do it, since it's grown so deeply, like it's grown so big inside you, inside your head. And what happens when you actually try to do it is that you need the same amount of kind of drama. Like you need to build this another idea, so that that can kind of eat this one, that can get rid of this giant, fearsome, I'll say, like like scary wall, I'll call it, tree, whatever, whichever may you may call it. But one thing I realize is that when you make this, let's say, I used to think that if I keep on studying, or like if I keep on working out consistently enough, I looked at, I viewed myself as like a warrior, like I'm gonna do this, like David Goggins' mind, like testosterone. I'm disciplined, I'm different, I'm superior, I can do this, I've got this. But at the end, like that motivation fades away. Like it's not always gonna be there with you. And what remains is this very silent, like ocean. Like you can have some waves. There could be waves, but at the end, it's just very silent ocean. Like nothing really happens. You just gotta keep on going, regardless of it being you built this big idea, like big drama around you doing doing that thing. So like what I'm trying to say is, just doing sounds really irresponsible and stupid sometimes. Like even if I were someone who's trying to do something that I cannot act, like I cannot just do every single day, and someone just comes up and say what he says is just do it. Like okay, like I mean, deep in like deep sense, I understand like just doing it is the solution every single time, but like it's not what we want. you know at the end, we want to hear something that we want. Like we already know the solution, we just don't want to do it. We oftentimes you see exactly how things will pan out if you don't follow doing if you don't complete this thing today. You already feel it hours before sleeping that you're gonna fail sleeping early today. You already know that if you keep on doing this, you won't be able. You're gonna waste another 3 hours on scrolling or whatever it is. Like, cause you've been there so many times before and you regretted it. You self kind of like criticize yourself. But that again, I said this several times in my YouTube channel. But self criticizing is a form of making another excuse to do that thing again, to make a mistake, the same mistake over and over again. So what happens is we all know the answer. It's not like what we need isn't what people don't like. What people need is not some words, some quotes, that sticks to your head in that a couple of minutes, or a couple of days. What we need is to slowly but surely stack these small wins, like by doing it, actually doing it instead of thinking, instead of keeping things inside your head, but outside, like actually showing yourself that you did this, and you're gonna write a review around about what you did today, and I'm gonna post it, like actually physically write it down and put it on a wall so that I can see it every single day. So that it reminds you that you are capable of this. It's not that you cannot, you just don't. You aren't doing it because of some stupid reason, and it's fine. Like it doesn't matter. Like you just gotta do it. Like, it's not like this universe is gonna punish you for not doing it, but something will happen, and you know that it's gonna turn out badly. Whenever I see um this reel before, back then when used to scroll a lot, not that I don't now, but I try to limit it around like 30 minutes every single day. I realized that limiting to certain time helps you much more than just trying not to do it. I tried like completely not doing it, but you end up going back. And what happens is that you want to compensate. You want to compensate on about those days that you didn't scroll. Let's say you didn't scroll for like 3 days in a row, and you want to kind of indulge yourself, like binge scroll like for 3 hours or 4 hours. That's why I try to give myself like some time to do it, but like 30 minutes, that's it. But like back to the main contact, my main topic. So what happens is you tend to yeah, we all know the answer, but what happens is, hold up, I got this. I lost a train of thought. Gosh. So what we need isn't the kind of motivations again, and you just gotta like pile up. Yeah, that's what I said. Like pile up, keep on stacking up the things that you should be doing every single day. And once it shows to you, like physically, not mentally, like keep thinking about that thing and dramatizing and romanticizing your own willpower and effort, which you just have to do. Like it's not like the universe is gonna change if you don't or you do, but you surely will be affected by the result. Yeah, here's what I left out. What I where I left on. So what I was trying to say is, when I used to watch reels about like things like, oh, like there's this big giant, universe, massive universe that we cannot even fathom how big it is. like does it matter, like does it matter how badly I do in my school or kind of things. And it's just ridiculous, like I just don't understand how people just stay. Obviously, like none of people who posted it or liked it, I don't mean by they actually think that way, but more like it's such a weak argument, you're gonna stay in that body as a human. It's like you're gonna transcend to another being and now understands the whole every parts of the universe, and you kind of like become universe itself. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna always stay inside that brain for the rest of your life, and when you're dead, you're not you are not anymore. Like you're not yourself anymore, and you're not even in this planet anymore. So it's just stupid. It's just weak cop. But the reason why I brought this up is because I used to think that all those like nihilists, or we have no purpose, like there's no meaning in anything. But turns out like that statement also itself has no teeth, like has no meaning in their own term. Like if like dying because you don't have meaning, you don't have purpose, it has nothing to do with this absurdity. Dying itself has no meaning if what you're saying is true. So yeah, I'm just debunking the kind of things that I used to think before, back then when I was in junior high and high school. And I think that is just so stupid. Well, not maybe not stupid. You just didn't question enough. I wouldn't say you're any kind of like less than anyone, like less than me or something, but more like you just have to look at yourself, like listen to what your inner self is telling to you, because we all know what we should be doing at every single time. When when you should be sleeping, when you should be waking up, you know when you should be studying, when you should be like doing the kind of things that you promise yourself, or you're kind of obligated to do in order to survive. And that's why I'm trying my best to always act first. And like it sounds weird, but I'm trying to look at my like just treat my life at like a game, like less seriously, but I'm always just constantly moving and doing things. Not physically always, but like, when you're studying, I'm in like intentionally out loudly say, as if someone's like next to me. I know that sounds weird, but as if someone's like next to me and I'm teaching that person, I intentionally say in a way like I'm explaining this topic to this person, just like I'm talking to this person, but like I'm explaining, so I have to know more. So what happens is like my brain tends to think that I'm actually explaining, so I tend to like get focused more, like dialed into what I'm doing more than when I'm just silently studying. I don't know. That has been something that's worked really good with me. And also, the idea of trying to be disciplined is it's not gonna work. You know, since it's not discipline. Discipline doesn't even exist. It's just a kind of like a very like idea that's very romanticized. And the word itself, if you say like I'm disciplined, like he's a disciplined dude, like he's a real one, that image is so good. I'll say like it's so good that people want to use it every single time. But I don't know, like real discipline, I don't think that exists. Like not in biological sense, but like scientific sense, but like I don't think it exists. At the end, it just all dissolves. Like all the armors that you had, like all the giant armors, like I'm gonna do it. I conquer this every single day. I'm running like 10 kilometers. Like I don't care. I'm keep on going. Like all those things, slowly but surely will dissolve through time. And by time, and at the end, what ends like what you end up with is actually doing things. What you end up with is I'm just gonna go and do it. You don't even think that. Like at the end, what sticks with you, what becomes part of yourself is isn't the kind of things that you were motivated in, or you you tell yourself like I should be disciplined in, but more like you just do it. You know, you just start doing it. You see that one thing. Let's say I need to study. I see this pen that's I don't know, a bit far away. Like I'm gonna organize it. You know, and I do it just intentionally. I try to do it immediately. The moment I see it, the moment I see something that's bothering me, or the moment I feel like I have to do that, and I immediately just go and do that. That's the only purpose for that, what, tens of seconds, you know. And that's why I said I try to treat myself less seriously and like a game character, like, because like, in coding you just do that one thing. Robots, why the reason why they are so good at that one specific thing is that like they are constantly focusing on that one line by one line, you know. I don't know about code, so like maybe it's sometimes like, you know, a bunch of lines at the same time, but you get my point. Like they are always concentrated on doing that one task at a time, one task at a time, one task at a time, and that's happening like no point, not another 1 seconds, 1 milliseconds. And so like that's why it looks like they are doing something really quick and stuff. But you get my point. I just try to I just look around myself, and if I feel like I have to do something, that I just go and do it. Okay, this done. Okay, I see that. Okay, that's done. Okay, I need to do that. And one day, like at one period of your time, like of the day, one moment like you realize, okay, I'm kind of chill right now, but I have to do these kind of things. That's when that's exactly when you think about the future. It's not when you wake up, but when you have the time to actually think, when you actually have the time to like just sit or like just stand there and like, okay, I look around and I've got nothing else to do. Now I have to study. Okay, I try to study, but it's like 9 a.m. I have a headache. Okay, I'm heading to the gym. Immediately, I just go and like prepare. I don't think about anything else. Right now, I'm preparing for the gym. And the moment I finish preparing the gym, I check my phone. Okay, there, AirPod there. Okay, shower there. I just head to the gym. Head to the gym. I just try to put it as simple as possible, and just doing it. You know, I'm not keep on thinking like I have to be disciplined. You know, like, you know, you promise yourself. No, it's not that deep. Like it's not that deep. Just do it, bro. Like what the hell? Like what do you mean? Oh, you promise yourself you gotta study right now, Jason. Okay, I've been scrolling for 5 hours, but I don't care. You know, I'm just gonna do it. So, okay, this happened, and I did broke a promise, but my life is so long, and I'm not saying like in a cop out way. Maybe it's a cop out, but I cannot rest. You know, I cannot keep on thinking, like keep on living inside my head, hating myself, telling myself that you had to do that. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, kind of thing. Because that again is just a defensive mechanism. Like you aren't actually trying to improve. If you're actually trying to improve, you would do it. You know, you would just, okay, that happened, clear. I don't care. I'm just gonna go and do it. Today I didn't have like that much time because I didn't wake up that early, but I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. And yeah, I'm just circling the same idea again and again. So that's my point. Just do it. Just try to pick up on something and focus on that solely, like solely on that one thing for the next minute or like a couple of seconds, and move on to the next one and move on to the next one. I think that's just the best and the most efficient way to kind of maximize your time and your life. Thank you for watching the video.